Alright, back in the shop again this morning and work away on this trailer a little bit. As you can see, has seen bits and pieces of it coming together, so I'll give you an overview here now of where we're at the moment. So yesterday you seen us stick the tongue on and get it formed to where it's more or less supposed to be, and tacked into place. The original frame, they welded the two tubes together for the tongue, but I didn't like that idea, so we decided to nip it out and bend it instead, and I'll weld her back together on the inside and down, and that way it stays one piece of tube. So anyways, this is kind of where we're at. You can see how bad the old frame was when you get down in there and look at how bent the difference she was in between there, how bad she was bent in the middle, and then down at the back there was quite a drop to her, to being she was all rotted out. You see the shackle here, that one fell right out after we lifted it up a bit. So yeah, it's time. She's done. Now I know most people probably would have scrapped it, but I'm not really most people, and the rest of it still got good parts on it, so we'll rebuild it and make another good trailer out of it. So let's get back at her. Okay, well, we've got her all welded up on the bottom side now anyways, for the most part of the frame. Just got to get the shackles, flip things over, get the shackles and axles out from the old trailer and put them on this new one. I've added a bunch of extra supports that it didn't have before. Across the back there, on the back sides here. Well, you can see all the ones that weren't there in the old frame and the ones that I've added. Hopefully that will stop her from doing any. Okay, I was saying before my battery went dead there, is that I added the extra supports so that hopefully it won't bend. The hoist on this thing seems to be well capable to overpower the frame basically. Because when I got this, I don't know, geez, 10 years ago at least, maybe a little more, 10, 12 years ago, something like that. When I was dealing trailers, I took this one in on a trade and then kept it for myself. And the frame rail section here in the middle, there along that time where the hoist was, that was already bent. So they've had a load in it that the hoist lifted obviously, but the frame couldn't handle it and it bent it down there. That wasn't due to it just being rusted out. That was bent long time before it rusted out. So with that there, I've added some extra support to this main frame, and we're gonna hope that solves the problem. So let's carry on. Okay, well, as usual, we started working without the camera. So we've got the frame moved off the other frame. Sit over here. And now I'm going to flip that frame upside down and then drag it back in the shop so that I can take the axles out from under it. So that's what we're going to get at now. So we're gonna cut the axles and brackets and everything. Undo, if we can get them off, we might undo them. Boy, that kid's noisy. We might undo them and get it apart, but ultimately I gotta cut these shackle brackets off. So that's what we're gonna attempt, and then get them put on this frame. So Okay, guys. Now we're on the box. Working on getting it cleaned up in order to put the weld the hoist and the box back onto the new frame. So I got to get rid of this piece of old tube here. I got the back hinges cleaned up a bit. Got the old pieces of tube all cut off them. Ground up a bit so we can weld them back on again. Hopefully they'll be okay. For now, the box is pretty rusty looking under here. It's not horrible when you tap on it as far as structurally sound. There is a couple spots, but I've got to scrape her all down and give her a paint job, make her look a little better and help protect it a little longer. I'm thinking maybe if I've got good use for it over the next few years and it's still needing it, I may just build a new box for it to go on this new frame. That way we would have a new dump trailer. But for now, with all I use in it, or have used for it really at the moment, it's not worth spending the money to me anyways, to rebuild this box as a new one. I'm just going to patch it up and make sure it's all good to go, not full of holes or anything like that, and it's solid again. And we'll figure that out in a couple years. So let's get back at it. Okay, we got that mess off of there. We grind it up a bit more now and clean up the rest of the box and give her some paint. And then when my shackles come in, I'm putting new shackles on the frame. Whee! New shackles on the frame too, so when they come in next week I'll be able to weld them up, get the axles on, and we'll probably paint her up prior. And then we'll be able to marry them back together and have a dump trailer again. Okay. Filthy dirty. Long day out here. We finished this off. I've got it all ground up and ready for paint. Try and make it look a little more presentable. I've patched all the holes along the side, a little at the front, a couple in the floor. So it's the old proverbial lipstick on a peg, because it's not going to last more than a couple years, I don't think, but that's fine. That's all I'm hoping to get out of it. So we added some new door holdbacks, fixed it down there. So we're all ground and ready to clean up and throw some paint on her and under her, protect it a little more. Same with the frame. Gonna get it painted up while we're waiting for the axle shackles to come in. And once they come in, we'll be able to weld them on, get the axles back under, or flip her upside right and back her under the box. In the meantime, I still got axles to clean up, fenders to clean up, but it's coming. It's coming. So we'll keep at her.